What's up, guys? This is Mint Standard, and if you don't know me, that's totally okay. But since you probably don't, I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory on me. I was born and raised in San Diego, and my father was a mechanic for many, many years. I didn't really get into cars until I was 19, 20 when he passed away. Getting into cars was really my way of connecting with him after he had passed. Now, that's not to say that this is something to be sad about or anything like that, but rather I'm so happy that I have been able to get into the car scene and the automotive industry after he passed, because I'm able to make that connection to him. And it sucks that I didn't do that before, but I'm happy that I have that place now. So after my father passed, I went off to college, got my associate's degree, got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and loved it. I did a lot of work in the area. I did 2 years in social work, working with foster children and adoptive children in Arizona, one of the worst foster care systems in the U.S. And if you ever want to foster, if you ever want to adopt, please let me know. I would love to give you information on that and help you with a little bit of that process. I can't do much because I'm not in it anymore, but I can at least give you some advice. So if you ever are considering adopting or fostering children here in the U.S., please let me know. I would love to give you some insight into how to get started and where that leads. Outside of that, however, after 2 years in foster care and doing social work, I realized that it was just too hard on me. It was too emotionally tolling. And I wanted to do something different that I didn't take home. So I started in photography. And with that, I went into the events industry. So I started actually as a line monitor, monitoring lines for events, telling people where the restroom was. I started at the lowest of the low. I mean, very low in that industry. And within the first show, I was managing. So I started managing very large shows such as Adobe Max, Salesforce's show, quite a few others, ASU, GSV, I was actually just a line monitor for, that was my first show. But after that, I was working the large 70 to 170,000 person shows, managing and working a 100-hour work week, flying around California, Nevada areas to go to these shows and manage them, such as, things like CES or SEMA, since we're talking about the car scene. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, the events industry didn't die, of course. It went all online. But my role as a manager in that kind of went by the wayside. As we start to pick up, that comes back, which is fantastic. And I would love to get back into that space because the travel and the work is fantastic. The hours are long. It's very high stress while you're working, but it's an incredible job when you're doing it. And I absolutely loved it. But we're still in COVID. And with all the years of experience that I have in foster care, in event management, large-scale event management, in the audio industry of theme parks and live productions, all those areas, I can't seem to find work. It sounds ridiculous, but every job I apply to, they have a better candidate or I get no response. And I kind of try and, reach out, see why there's no response or see why they went with someone else. And the typical answer that I get is under or overqualified. Overqualified because they're scared that I'm going to leave when something better comes up. Underqualified because, I have quite a lot of experience in many areas. I don't have fine-tuned experience in the one area they're looking for, such as social media management or business management and those types of things. I have management experience, just not at a formal pace of that environment, which makes it hard to find work in a time like this. So instead, I decided to go on my own. Now, I was doing photography and videography, and I still do it. I love it. I have all the gear, and I'm good at it. I really enjoy it too. But I saw a need in the automotive industry for people to create automotive parts, custom automotive parts, especially in regard to the interior vehicles, for cars that don't typically receive that treatment. For the cars that are the underdogs, or the cars that people get for their first car when they're 18, 19, 20, and they're not able to afford to have a project car or a nice new car later on, and they want to do something to that car they already have. When I turned 19, almost 20, I got a 2013 Kia Soul. People are like, you drive a Kia Soul? Like, my grandmother drives that car. Yes, your grandmother probably does drive that car, but your grandmother definitely doesn't drive my car. That's because it's a car that, while the automotive industry doesn't shine upon and say, this car is the car that we're going to make products for, this car is the car that we're going to hype up to everybody in the car scene and in the country or the world, it's not that car. But that's okay. You don't have to have that car to work on your car, to get into cars. Whether that car that you have is just the starter car that gets you into it and you move on to something else later, or that's the car that you keep and continue to work on and continue to improve upon, fantastic. Either one is great. I decided to stick with the Soul. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because I have way too much money in it to get rid of it. Maybe it's just because I'm stubborn. Maybe it's because I like having something that when people look at it, they either say, ew, that's disgusting, what did you do? Why did you do that? Or, wow, that work is incredible, good job. I'd rather align myself with those people that appreciate the work that goes into custom automotive manufacturing than the people that say, that's not a BRZ, that's not a GTR, oh, what about a Miata? Well, I had a Miata. It blew up. But that is a story for another day. Today we're talking about those cars that get you into it, that you want to do something to, but you don't really know how to do it. But not only that, we're also talking about a topic of creating your own business in this scene that begins with that car. Now, as I've said, I have a 2013 Kia Soul. But my wife and I just purchased a 2021 Toyota Corolla XSE hatchback, manual transmission, fantastic car, gorgeous hatchback. She was looking at getting a Subaru. Loves the Subaru market and that style. But the Toyota, 1, was smarter financially. 2, was smarter in reliability. And 3, still offered that hatchback look and feel that you can modify without being an oversaturated market. So when she got the car, I said, hey, I've made a shift boot for my car before, the Kia Soul. Why don't I make one for your car? I mean, I can make it whatever fabric you want, make it really nice looking for the car. And that's actually this one that will pop up on screen right now. It is the same fabric as this. This is actually a shift boot for a automatic Toyota Corolla hatchback. It's in a very basic Galaxy fabric. It's not a one-off fabric. It's not a custom dyed fabric, but it adds a look to your interior that you don't see often. It adds that custom piece to it that fits you better. Most cars, just have black, typically leather shift boot. A lot of times they're not going to make shift boots for automatic cars that are, the cool fabrics and suedes and different color leathers or different style leathers with stitching. And I saw a need there. Partnered with a guy out in California. He is at Clean E210. I'm going to verify that, but I'm pretty sure he's at Clean E210 on Instagram. His information will be linked below. And he said, hey, I have an automatic. Can you make one for my car? And I said, yeah, sure. So he sent me a shift boot. I created a pattern, and I created this automatic shift boot that fits up exactly as OEM for the Toyota Corolla 2019 to 21 hatchbacks. Then people started getting interested. So I started in this a little bit with my car, of course, actually quite a bit with my car, in terms of creating products that were one-offs. But now I decided that I wanted to create something for the car market that people ignore. But I also don't want to forget the car market that people enjoy more often or go to more often, like those BRZs, like those Miatas, like those other cars. So I'm working on many different automotive platforms to create interior products for those vehicles, interior specifically. However, that might devolve or evolve to some exterior modifications such as splitters, diffusers, and other products. We'll see how that starts to entail. But we're coming at this from just one singular niche right now, those interior products. So I really create based off of what the person that is ordering the product wants. But I create it to your OEM spec. I cut it exactly how OEM is cut. I stitch it how OEM is stitched. I make it to that quality. But I make it how you want it. I give you the options of stitchings, whether you want visible stitching like this or no visible stitching like this. As I go into this, I'm adding new products like e-brake boots, different things like floor mats or dash mats, all kinds of interior products that are really going to bring out your personality in your car. And while it's not exactly cheap, it's not going to be, a $20 universal shift boot or a $30 universal shift boot. It is completely custom. It is completely made to fit your vehicle perfectly. And with that, I honestly offer a lifetime warranty on my work. So I say, hey, if what I send you is not up to the standard that you wanted to see, let me know. I want to fix it as soon as possible and get something in your car that you can be proud of. I want you to enjoy what I'm selling you. I don't want you to buy it and regret it down the line. Am I going to warranty my work and my craftsmanship? Absolutely. That is lifetime warranty. I will replace it 100% of the time. If it's deemed that it's, user error, things like that, I can't fully warranty that and just replace it for you because that costs quite a bit. It's not free to make products, but I do want to warranty exactly what I do. So if you like some of the stuff that I do, and I'm going to show a little bit off, please let me know. Tell me what your car is. We can get to work on something. All right, advertisement over. But all it took was buying a car and seeing that there was a need for something and making it. You don't have to have tons of capital. You don't have to have tons of knowledge. I'm starting this from the very beginning, and you're going to start it with me. This is going to be a how-to series. This is going to show the mistakes. This is going to show the successes. This is going to show all of it. And as we get into it, it's going to become an all-encompassing brand. That's my goal, is to be automotive lifestyle, to be different than the other companies that are out there, to show you guys the process, to help you start your own process and do this yourself if you really want to and you have the skills, or even if you don't have the skills and you want to learn them. Let's do it together. Let's build our businesses and build our empires together. Whether that be in the interior market, whether that be in the exterior market, or performance, or anything else. We're going to start from the beginning, and we're going to go through it and get it done. I don't want to be somebody that is behind a veil. I want to be able to show you how I'm doing things, what my process is, and how you can do it too. Because it's not fair to just let all those big manufacturers do things. It's not fair for me to be sitting here selling my product and not telling you how you can do it yourself if you really want to. I'm not trying to sell to people that want to do it themselves. I'm trying to sell to people that really do want something quality and personalized to them and their vehicle, or to themselves in terms of a lifestyle brand. I want people to be able to learn. I want people to be able to do this themselves. I don't want to hoard it all. And it's not beneficial to me to do that. I'd rather create a community around the idea of building your own business, of doing your own things, of creating your own products. I want to be 100% transparent in this entire timeline of what happens and how it happens and how I do it. I'm really excited to start this series. And the first video, this one, is a little bit of an introduction to that. We're not going to go super into depth. We're not going to go super into detail. That comes in the next video. We're going to really start getting down into the nitty-gritty. I can't speak. Nitty-gritty details. And I'm going to usher you along as I learn and as you learn. Hopefully I can help you. Hopefully we can all help each other. So I hope you like this video. I hope you like the idea of learning this, of developing your skills, and I hope this gives a benefit to you in your life. Follow me along the journey, and I'm sure we're going to do great things together. See you in a bit.